Welles couldn't hold Antonioni's jockstrap. Antonioni was a great creator, a unique filmmaker. And whether you like the films or not, he did something different. And he was skillful. And I remember Antonioni's films really made me think profoundly about aspects of human nature. They were not what I said earlier, emotionally, visceral, but they did have something else that was compelling. And so I don't know why I've heard all these stories like that you mentioned that Welles was parodying Antonioni. Why would you do that? Why would you want to parody Antonioni? Well, Zabriskie Point's doesn't work too well. I don't like Zabriskie Point, but I love La Ventura and La Notte and La Clise. Blow Up is a masterpiece to me. Reality and illusion.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's ever been handled better. This is a mystery story, a great mystery story without a solution. But the journey, the search for an answer, which doesn't end with the film but goes on long after the film is over, is fascinating. This photographer, a guy who's dealing in
Images.
Living imagery that he sees and experiences. He's not even creating his photography, he's recording certain things, like you see these miners that he has photographed at the beginning, and he's looking for one image to end this book of photographs. And he thinks it's the image of two lovers in the park.
Right.
And it turns out to be an image of murder. I mean, that's an insanely wonderful concept. This is a film made by a great director, Antonioni, who had a vision of his own. His earliest films were very controversial and popular only really in Europe, with a limited audience in the United States. But Blow Up was his first English language film. It was made in England, and a part of what he was trying to capture was the swinging 60s of London, which I think is captured in Blow Up more than in any film that I could name. The plot is so elusive, so original, so unique, that it will make you wonder about what is real and what is fantasy, which I think is the essence of what happened in the 1960s to an entire generation around the world. Young people, because of the drug culture, which is portrayed in this film to a small extent, young people had separated themselves from reality, and that's what Blow Up deals with in such a beautifully photographed and mysterious way. I love it. By the end, this photographer whose life and his work is being able to see is completely lost in a world of what is real and what is not. One of the great shots that I can remember in my years of watching films is when Hemmings picks up the invisible tennis ball and throws it back to the tennis court where the hippies are playing tennis without a ball or rackets. And he's bought totally into the fantasy. Right up there is the ending of Blow Up, when he throws back the invisible tennis ball. That, to me, is a profound moment. He has lost his grip on reality by trying to find the clue to an image, which I don't know that he ever really finds. It looks like there's a gun pointing out of the bushes. I'm not sure it really is, or it's his illusion. Antonioni, by the way, I'd like to point this out to your viewers. He never repeated a shot. Like, When most of you see a film or a television show today, you guys can pretty much tell what the next shot is going to be. If there's a shot of me, the next shot will probably be a shot of Robert. In a film, it might be over my shoulder, over your shoulder, and the directors cut back and forth using the same setups. Antonioni never repeated a shot. His films move almost laterally, like a novel, like reading a novel from left to right. And that's in all of his films. Occasionally, there might be a fragment of a prior setup used, but they can be counted on the fingers of one hand. So he had a unique way of storytelling. Mm-hmm. I try to do that now myself. I'm not totally successful in being able to do that. But Antonioni could envision a film like a series of individual photographs. And his films move along at a very unusual pace because they never go back from point B to point A. Yeah, it's something to keep in mind while you become immersed in this incredibly simple and complex film.